Hello and thank you for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Stay with us. Public consultation on transitional justice options in Ethiopia is underway in Addis Ababa. Ethiopia has recently developed a transitional justice policy document, which is expected to contribute to sustainable peace, reconciliation, and justice in the country. Implementing transitional justice is believed to be instrumental to redress human rights violations and to ensure the rule of law in the country. Shagao Yamato has the details.
Ethiopia has recently developed a transitional justice policy document which is expected to contribute to reconciliation and justice in the country. An inaugural ceremony of public consultations on transitional justice options in Ethiopia was underway in the presence of Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Demeqe Mekonnen, federal government officials, regional presidents, religious fathers, and other stakeholders. Speaking at the occasion, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Demeqe Mekonnen underlined that implementing transitional justice is essential to heal wounds happened in various parts of the country by the war.
Executing transitional justice to protect human rights and ensure rule of law in Ethiopia is demanding more than ever. We all also need to discharge our responsibilities to implement transitional justice so that conflicts and human rights violations will not be violated again. The transitional justice destiny will be achieved genuinely, accountably, and in an equitable manner.
Gedeon Timotheos, Minister of Justice, for his part explained that collecting recommendations on the transitional justice policy document was the aim of the event.
What we are discussing is not a draft policy, but it is an alternative policy document. What was usually is we discuss on a draft policy and then we will approve it. But now we agree that something different is essential. We are collecting recommendations that can serve as a draft policy alternative.
Daniel Bekkala, High Commissioner of Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, for his part said that the transitional justice policy document that they are discussing is based on the context of Ethiopia and centering victims of human rights violations during the war.
A policy document that we are discussing is based on the context of our country that involves victims of human rights violations. The document will also prevent further human rights violations and conflicts. Therefore, the discussion is vital and it is a good beginning for our country, and I recommend our government in this regard.
A UN High Commissioner of East Africa, Marcel Clement Akopovo, for his part shared his experience that transitional justice to be effective, there must be human rights based consistently focusing on right and in need of victims and family.
I have seen that for transitional justice effort to be effective, there must be human rights based, consistently focusing on the right and the need of victims and their family, and the meaningful participation of the affected population is a crucial element in that respect. Across Africa and beyond, I have met countless of victims of a human rights abuse violation or their relatives who courageously demanded justice through trial, either through financial compensation, the rebuilding of schools and clinics, etc., etc. To others, justice simply meant finally being believed and hearing an apology from those responsible for their suffering.
Collecting recommendations on the transitional justice policy document will underway over 50 venues in the country in the future.
The Ethiopian Investment Commission held extensive discussions with the Pakistani business delegation, which included more than 70 investors, to explore business and investment opportunities in Ethiopia. The discussions took place in the presence of the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Demeqe Mekonnen and the Ethiopian high-ranking government officials. Ethiopia's ambassador to Pakistan, Jamal Beker, said that the delegates had a significant interest in the agricultural, manufacturing, mineral technology, healthcare, and other sectors. Kasaun Chani has this report.
The discussions about potential investments and competitive conditions in Ethiopia are being held between the Ethiopian Investment Commission and a delegation of Pakistani investors. The Ethiopian Investment Commissioner Lalicia Name, ambassadors of the two countries, members of Pakistani's Investment and Trade Delegation, representatives of Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and stakeholders are participating in a discussion. The Commissioner briefed the delegation on the ease of doing business, incentive packages, and investment climate in Ethiopia, which is conducive and favorable for investment operations.
Ethiopia has huge comparative advantage for the business community of Pakistan. It's not only opened its economy to attract the foreign direct investment, but also undertook a lot of reforms to build a homegrown economy in Ethiopia. The steps taken to address the bottleneck for our foreign direct investor trade business service at micro, macro, and structural level has started playing a lot of great role to create and change to be more open for our investors.
The two nations have solely diplomatic ties, according to Ethiopia's ambassador to Pakistan, Jamal Bakr, who also said that this delegation's visit is crucial to the success of the country's endeavors.
The first of its kind between the two countries. Pakistan and Ethiopia has a long diplomatic relation since 1958, but the relationship was not grown up to the potential that the two countries has. But today's delegation, which consists more than 71 very top companies in priority areas of our government, in agriculture, agro-processing, manufacturing, tourism, mining, ICT, which was top.
The ambassador of Pakistan to Ethiopia, Shozab Abbas, also stated that efforts are being taken to further bolster the two nations' economic ties.
This collaboration between the two countries would not only foster, strengthen and cement the political and diplomatic relations, but also the economic relations between the two countries. And I hope the friendship may touch to the zenith of skies. Thank you so much.
A number of Pakistani investors have also stated that they're extremely interested in and determined to make investments in Ethiopia and a wide range of sectors.
My main field of expertise is in textile spinning. I have 12 factories in Pakistan and employ over 8,000 people. And I would love to be able to set up either new factories in Ethiopia, which will boost jobs in Ethiopia, and also create an environment in which your exports could also increase. Beyond that, I would also love to expand and maybe even transfer some of my existing factories.
So I really think that it is just a laying foundation for the next coming years between the business relationship between Pakistan and Ethiopia. And Ethiopia, it has a big population, it has a huge potential here for all the sectors and including pharmaceutical sectors. So we have our big plans that when we come here and if there are certain policies and that really attracts the investors, so when we will go back, so we will discuss with our parent companies to think about it.
Good to see the Ethiopian market, it's 80% is being imported pharmaceuticals. So we as a Pakistani pharmaceuticals manufacturer and exporters, we see a very huge potential over here. What we see, we are exporting in more than 20 countries, and for Pakistani pharma companies, I think they are exporting more than 100 countries around the globe. So we see a very good potential over here.
The visit of this business delegation is believed to further strengthen the bilateral trade relations of the two countries. It was learned.
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners. partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and World Remit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Burr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
በመጣበት ጊዜ ያውን የሚታየው ቤታውን ተሰራው ደሞ ከተረሳዳሪው ተገልጿል በቂ አይደለም ዱንካን የለም ይሄ መንጎስር ነው የሚሰፍረው ሁሉ ይሄ ዝናብ እየዘነበ እዛ ውስጥ ነው ባለው አሁን አንዳንዶቹ ማሻአላ እየመጡ ማለት ነው ራሳቸው ለሶስት ቀን ብቻ አድሮበት የሚወጡ እየሰሩ እየተስፋፋ ነው ለወደፊቱ ኢንሻአላ እኛ ተስፋ አንቆርጥም
በብዛት ያገር ውስጥ ቱሪስቶች ወይ ሃይማኖቱ ተከታዮች በአብዛኛው ጊዜ በመስከረም ወር ውስጥ በሚከበረው ያረፋ በዓል ላይ ብዛት ያላቸው ሃይማኖቱ ተከታዮች ወደዛ ቦታ መጥተው ያንን በዓል ያከብራሉ
Welcome back. Ophthalmology experts said effective pre-eye treatment and taking proper medication is said to be crucial to protect serious eyesight complications in Ethiopia. Al-Basar International Foundation is giving free eye treatment and medication services for over 30,000 Ethiopians in Warabe, Jimma and Addis Ababa. Habtamu Ashagri has more.
Ethiopia is implementing prevention health policy strategy to control health complications. Eye disease is one of the diseases that can be treated by pre-medication activities. Al-Basar International Foundation is providing free eye treatment medication service since 15 February up to 4 April 2023 in various parts of the country.
በአብዛኛው አቅመ ደካማ የሆኑት እናቶቻችን አባቶቻችን
The Al-Basar International Foundation provides eye medication opportunity for elders. This medication is given for 3 consecutive periods. We are providing effective eye medication service for 2 rounds in Alert Hospital.
The ophthalmology experts team arrived in Ethiopia to provide free eye medication service for over 30,000 Ethiopians in Warabe, Addis Ababa and Jimma.
ጥሪ ይደረግለታል 10,000 ይመጣል ከ10,000 400 የማያይ
We are reporting 10,000 cases to the foundation. Of the total, they operated free eye medication service for 1,200 cases. The remainers will get eye droplet and eyeglasses based on the existing eyesight problem of the patient. They are operating in this manner.
መነጽርም ይሰጣቸዋል
The ophthalmology experts will bring good eye medication materials as well as other inputs which are not produced domestically to provide quality eye treatment service.
The 70th Global
It's expected that Ethiopia is Ethiopians
Our news is always aired on Monday to Friday on 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. and also on Saturday and Sunday on 9 p.m. Make sure to follow us.
A conducted research looked into identity being interpreted in multiple forms. PhD student and researcher at the University of Birmingham, Sophie Cuspert-Ratokons-Drainey, told ETV that Ethiopia meant a lot to her and also her family. Tegus Sarnisa brings us up to speed.
Student and researcher at the University of Birmingham, Sophie Cuspert, told ETV that Ethiopia means a lot to her and also her family.
Yeah, Ethiopia is a very special country, but of course it is not the country as in terms of the soil, but it is the people, isn't it? And I've really fallen in love with Ethiopia. I have got so many friends here.
Okay.
A lot of friends from different areas and who have very different lives. So I have friends here in Addis Ababa, and I have also friends in the rural areas, and it has taught me a lot, not only about Ethiopia but also about myself in the interaction with other people, and it has been very important for me. Actually, since the first time I came to Ethiopia, I felt at home.
Wow.
And I felt that this was a place I wanted to be, and luckily my husband felt the same way.
Wow.
So we really feel so comfortable here.
The researcher further stated that on her research that focused on Mao people in southern peoples, nations and nationalities of Ethiopia, she found out that identity and ethnicity are often taken as one, but two different and far complex matters, she noted.
Often I think we believe that identity and ethnicity are the same thing. So one person has one ethnic identity, and that is what makes up their one identity. And the interesting thing is that when, from the perspective of my fieldwork, when I look at that, it is so much more complex. We often think of ethnicity as being this checklist. As I said, you have to speak a certain language, you should live in a certain designated territory, maybe you should eat a certain kind of food, you should clothe a certain way, you should have a certain lifestyle. And what I found was that reality is so much more complex. Actually, we think of society as being these different groups, right? But people can't neatly fit and be put into these separate unities that are kind of thought to be unified within themselves. So I found that Mao is not one identity. And Mao doesn't denote one hierarchical position, but Mao is shaped by shifting hierarchies, and they don't represent one group within a hierarchy.
Wow. She indicated that her conducted research looked into identity being interpreted in multiple forms.
Looking at practices is extremely important. Sometimes we only pay attention to what we say, our language, but that's only one side of the coin, because our language is often, where it relates to this idea of having one identity in this kind of language, but then in practice that shows us a different picture. So I looked at how people relate to each other in politics, education, in religion. I looked at marriage practices, labor practices, and really how people perform or live their identities in their day-to-day lives.
We are the gateway for all foreign direct investors. Perfectly having the peace will definitely help us and boost the potential of Ethiopia. even during those conflict time, Ethiopia has a big potential. So majorly, more than $3.4 billion of investment has come last year. Kind of half cabinet will be at the board of Ethiopian Investment Commission. So this shows the commitment of government. So secondly is, the investor needs to know that majorly they have a question of repatriation of their profit. Actually, repatriation of their profit is allowed in our law. It's a very clear one. And the Ethiopian Investment Commission is ready to welcome you, whether you are local or foreign direct investors, to invest in Ethiopia. We believe that it's time to invest in our country. It's time to invest in Ethiopia. We are providing and making sure that we are doing the ease of doing business for the country, and majorly we are implementing the aftercare strategy.
In business news, an Ethiopian delegation headed by Alamu Sime, Minister of Transport and Logistics, visited Djibouti's Damarjog Industrial Park and Nagad Station. During the visit, the delegation also assessed the progress of the oil terminal currently being constructed as part of the Industrial Port Park project. Upon completion, the oil terminal is expected to serve as an additional source of oil products for Ethiopia alongside the Horizon Oil Terminal, according to the Ethiopian Embassy in Djibouti. A 13-kilometer railroad will be built to connect the terminal to the Nagad train station, the embassy confirmed. Ethiopian Aviation Academy, the largest and oldest aviation academy in the Eastern Africa region, has been upgraded to an aviation university, Ethiopian Airlines confirmed. According to the airliner, the Aviation Academy has been offering aviation training programs such as pilot, aircraft technician, cabin crew, airline sales and services, and other trainings. It added that after it was upgraded to a university level, it has launched degree programs such as BSc degree in Aeronautical Engineering, BSc degree in Aircraft Maintenance Engineering, BSc degree in Aviation Management, BA degree in Tourism and Hospitality Management, and MBA in Aviation Management. It is to be recalled that the Ethiopian Aviation Academy inaugurated a new training center in Hawassa City last month, as per the airliner.